through time. We're all upon a ship that flies and flies and flies and flies.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Trip Through Time. As time goes by, memories never die. Very special guest and episode here for you. I'm Benny Badu. We got Sit back over here, my partner. And today you're joined by Chris, a.k.a. Pretty Nights, a.k.a., in my opinion, front runner or for Man of the Year from the PLF. I mean... Yeah, thank you for being here. Incredible honor. So I just want to pass it off to you. Introduce yourself and take it away, my guy.
Yeah, so my name is Chris, aka the Pretty Nights guy. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I grew up in Navy Brat. I grew up all over, but I'm located in Dallas area now. I first discovered Pretty Lights when I went to Bonnaroo 2011, and I was just going back to my campsite, and I walked past as like the what stage, and Pretty Lights is playing, and I have no idea, never heard of this guy, and he drops he's just playing the time, Pink Floyd Time remix, and I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, this is so amazing, and I just flip out and run into the crowd, and I stayed there until the sun came up, and it was like a sunrise set, and it was just. That was my intro to Pretty Lights, and I've been hooked ever since. I wasn't even really like an EDM guy, but just that happening, just like, you know, it flipped a switch.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what is your music taste history before Pretty Lights? Like, you know, as you said, you weren't really into that.
A lot of classic rock, a lot of metal, but I was super into classic rock and some indie stuff. And Bonnaroo for me was just kind of like seeing what is out there. So I did a lot of just going to random shows and seeing what's what. And like I ran into Beats Antique there too, and I'd never heard of Beats Antique. And that was another thing I was like just mind blown. I didn't even know stuff like that existed.
So when you went to Bonnaroo, did you go like with anyone in mind that you wanted to see, or you just going to like you knew that there was a whatever diverse lineup and you were going to go and see whoever?
A lot of the lineup that year was hip hop that I was excited for. Eminem was headlining, Lil Wayne, J. Cole was there, and he was real low on the lineup, but I had heard of J. Cole, and so it was, like a lot of stuff on there was just like mainstream hip hop, and that's what I was really into. And I mean, I was open to anything, but those are the people I knew.
Yeah, love J. Cole. Also love Lil Wayne.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Sidebar. Happy Halloween. Fuck.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, boys.
Walter fucking White over here. Fucking got the burner phone, but yeah. Yeah, dude, dope. Just curious, how old are you, dude? I mean,
I just turned 35, so it was my birthday during this Las Vegas run.
nice.
Okay, happy belated.
Hell yeah, happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. So from there, that was your first show. If you could, like, just off the top, some of your favorite shows you've been to and the number of shows, obviously, you got the fucking stats. So yeah, some standouts and your number.
Yeah, so I was stationed in Virginia. I was in the Navy when I went to Bonnaroo, and so I was
Thank you for your service.
stationed in Virginia, and so all my shows are from Virginia. Really, he played at the National, and that was sick because it's like a 1,500 person venue. I think it's actually like 1,100. I'm not totally sure. Small, intimate venue, and then just like all of the bass lights. So that was that's kind of like the gist. And Wakarusa 2012, that was a huge highlight because I took my VW bus, my 1968 VW bus, and drove it from Virginia Beach all the way to Arkansas with 5 friends in in tow, and then caught Pretty Lights. It was like Primus into Pretty Lights, and it was such a sick weekend.
You still have the van?
I do, yes. It's still running. It's funny. I fixed it mechanically. It still needs a bunch of body work, but it's great for like home renovations and stuff because it's so roomy. And I'll just like clean out the house and just take everything to the landfill in that thing.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, how many shows?
Vegas was my 18th, so I only hit one run last year, and that was New Orleans run, and then Las Vegas is going to be my only run this year.
Right on. I think that's my last one too, unfortunately. But before we go into this, I just want to say, on behalf, I think I speak for the whole fam. I mean, God, thank you, dude. You're fucking killing it. Just the shit you've done. I mean, you're doing awesome stuff. I mean, literally, I left Tahoe and I have this big speaker that I bring around, dude, and I was fucking, and you have like the immediate fucking link. I was fucking playing the shows and shit. I mean, yeah, dude, just, not only that, for us, I just want to thank you so much for, I feel like we kind of started around the same time, but, you've been more than generous and like, sharing our stuff and, supporting us. So having met you now for the first time, I just, I really genuinely appreciate like all that you've done, and you're very considerate and stuff. So it's just props to you, my guy. And also, side thing, I have so many friends that like don't know their number of shows. Like when I was in the heyday of like from 2012 to 2017, I saw 36, and I was just like in my head, I had it all fucking like, I'm like, yeah, from here to there. And then when they came back, I had to like go back and look, and then you do this, and I'm like, dude, this is what everyone fucking needs. And I tell her, I'm like, yo, fucking plug in, hit it up.
Yeah, just to touch on that, like, I'm a spreadsheet dude. Like, I was an account. I went to school for accounting. I was in accounting for a little bit. Went into business sales, whatever. Big spreadsheet guy, right? Like, when I started going to shows, like, I would track, like, Pretty Lights shows, and, like, I threw Grammatic on there, threw Grizz on there. But, like, Pretty Lights was really the only one I kept track of. So, like, I had, like, columns with, like, the dates and the shows. And then, dude, your site, so user-friendly, such a great presentation, so just, like, so easy. And, like, you click your shows, and then, boom, you have all your stats. It's beautiful. Like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, so many questions. Like, who did this? How does he have a team? Like, how is it? What is he doing? Like, just, yeah, I got a lot of questions.
Yeah, we're like two different things. Sip's like the smart data guy. I'm like, Asperger's Rain Man. Like, yeah. Yeah. If you could just go into your site, like touch on, how you decided to do it, and like, just like what, how was this an idea from like a long time? Or did you just kind of go and hit it? Break it down from there, man.
Yeah, so I've been coding as like a hobby since I was 12 years old. So that's going on 21 years of just for fun. I've always had websites and done different kind of coding stuff, and I tried to do it for a living, and I hated it. I don't like making things for other people. I just kind of like get in the zone and get in a mood, and then I make something. And so I was looking at some old set lists, and Reddit has a huge database of set lists, and Facebook had them in some places, and I was like, you know what? We have so much data that the fam has over the years like created and aggregated, and there's a huge list, but no one's doing anything with it. And I like Umphreys a lot. Umphreys has this big stats website where you can do all kinds of different calculations and stuff. And I was like, you know what? We can do that. Like, I can definitely do that. And it started off, I created a database of all the set lists, and the first thing I did was I just wanted to, on the new tour, knock off every song that had been played at each stop on the tour. So I first started just knocking off all the songs and one lining them and showing, hey, these songs haven't been played yet. But that was a big fail. It was crazy because I made a list. I thought it was really good. I posted it in PLF Facebook, and then everyone's like, "Oh, you forgot this song. They played this song. This is wrong. You didn't even add in the USB 2.0 songs." And they like, it's funny. Like some people were really appreciative, but for the most part, I just got like ripped to shreds about how accurate it was, and so I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna nix that, and we're gonna start off with something like less complicated, which is just putting people's statistics together and not doing like comparisons and things. And so that's kind of just where I went with it. Is I was like, nothing like this exists, and it's like I finally felt like I had the skills where I could put something like that together. And the thing is the site has been built like over time. Like I think the first thing I did was a song search where you could just search a song, and then it'll show you all the history of when it's been played, where it's been played, if it's remixed and things like that. And it's just kind of from user feedback and people saying, "Hey, you should add this. Hey, you should add that." And when I get a hair up my butt, I just go and I do it.
I was gonna say, how long do you think it? How much time do you think you put into this website? Like, including like your rough drafts and all your failures. How long do you think, like for prettynights.com, time have you put in?
So when I was putting all the set lists in the database, that took me like 2 months doing like 4 or 5 hours a night. So just putting the data in the database and getting everything input, it was probably like 120 hours. Like it felt like a full-time job. I was just like hammering it, but I could see the end, right? I was like, I just got to get this data in, and then we can do all kinds of stuff with it. And that's just the data. Building the website, probably, at least another like 120 hours. So we're talking about like, month and a half of full-time work. And then after every show, I spend like 2 hours uploading, posts on Instagram, putting the new setlist data in. So like, I don't know how many shows there's been. You can probably check on the website, but a couple hours for every show.
Yeah, dude, again, thank you. But yeah, so back to what you're saying, dude, I fucking, when Days Gone got played at Tahoe, like I like was like losing my fucking mind, and I like thought that I hadn't heard that in a while, and then I typed in Days Gone on your site, and I didn't realize this. I heard it Telluride. I heard it at Spring Awakening in 2014, like, and I heard it like a handful of times. And I was like, what was I? Don't get me wrong, I was happy I heard it, but like, it's just cool to like look back at that, like, and so, and also, again, like you're saying, Reddit and Facebook and all this stuff, like, it's just nice to pull everything in one place, We have these search engines, which obviously, but like to have everything in one spot is fucking dope. So, yeah, dude, very cool. Very cool. That being said, let's talk about this pen.
Okay, I have to go grab it. Pause for a second. I'll be right back.
So that's what, 240 hours, you said, for the database stuff, right? Because it's 120 for the database and all that stuff, and then another 120 for the website. That's 240 plus 2 hours a show, and it's immediately after the show. So who's doing that at like 1 in the morning?
Yeah, dude. Something I can do.
Try don't stop.
See, I'm more of a spur of the moment, just wow.
Yeah, like, dude, like that's dedication. 4 or 5 hours a night.
Yeah. It's respect. It's cool to know that he fucking has the coding background and all this stuff. Honestly, dude, it's crazy. I didn't know what this dude looked like. Honestly, I thought he was younger. Like, I don't know. Given the number of shows, and I don't know, I have no face to put to the name. I'm like, oh, he must, right? Yeah, he must be kind of new and stuff. Yeah, dude. So yeah, real quick though, I'm a big pin guy. I have a fuck ton of pins. I was actually thinking about putting my board on the back. I got them separated within. I got my official Pretty Lights, merch pins. I got my fan made show and festival pins. I got my Brandon. I forgot, ran with whatever Roth. He made all the fucking stage pins. I see him at every show. I'm like, yo, you got to make some new stage pins. And then I got my song name pins and I got my miscellaneous pins. And so this, again, for me, like with the show shit, fucking dope. So yeah, take it away, man. Run it
Yeah,
up.
so this is the pin. You can see it's fucking huge. I got it with a little backing card right now. But it's magnetic, so you can put all the numbers in right here. They just insert and connect magnetically. I got an example of one that hasn't been like had the numbers put in yet.
Real quick, sidebar, Sip. I'm the first guy who there's only 3 slots for songs, and he said I'm at 999 because I'm in the 4 digits. So
So you can see all the little circles. Those are magnets, and so the number's just attached right there. And this is so hosting the site. I have an archive of all the shows since the band has come back, since Freelights has come back, and it takes up a huge amount of space. So I made these as a way for people to support the site without just like sending me money and donating. So like it's a way for people to support, but you still get something back.
for sure.
And I tried my best to do something someone hasn't done before. And this bottom piece is dry erase, so that just wipes off at the bottom. You just get a dry erase marker, and you can change it all
I was gonna
out.
ask. That's smart.
Dude,
That's
that's dope,
smart.
dope as fuck. I also love big pins. I mean, there was a fucking Telluride 15 pin that's like big, and I had like some of those jerseys that the Adam Strong kid made, and I like would put them on my shit as if it was like a badge on the jersey, dude. And I mean, dude, it's dope for backpacks and like, I mean, or even just on the board. I mean, fucking, I mean, you know, it's legit. It's fucking dope as fuck. And again, never been done. And you know, sadly, the pin game is kind of like died. I mean, at one point the market was like bonkers. Like, you know, people were fucking the EP pins. I mean, dude, I
The
don't know.
Jordan pin.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's kind of crazy to me. But you know, just in general, I mean, the pin market was nuts. I'm gonna do a pin fucking podcast after tour. Talk to that Brandon kid about doing it. But yeah. I mean, so yeah. I mean, props to you, dude. I mean, that's just fucking super just sick. I mean, I think everything you're doing is so personalized to the fan, and like,
Yeah, it's personalized. It's unique. It's innovative. Like
literally,
this is like it's like I don't know if anyone's ever thought of it before, and if they had, like, they didn't do anything with it, but like you brought it to fruition, like
yeah.
and like you're doing this all by yourself.
Yeah. So I have asked people for help a lot, and it's just sometimes it's just too complicated or overwhelming for people, and it's hard to get people to join in on the project. I actually have one guy, he's a college student doing software engineering, and we have a voice chat later, and I'm hoping he's going to jump on the site. He has some ideas for new features and things like that. And so I think he's going to be like the first like official team member that I'm going to have that's going to do stuff. And he's a young kid. He's like in his early 20s. So I'm excited for some fresh new energy.
Yeah. Well, dude, you know, again, like let's say I had this idea, I could never do what you're doing, you know, and I've had this idea for a long time, and I just like never knew how to get it started. And I was always like talking to people like to be like a co-host, but like I just one day talked to Sip about it, and like I never realized like I should talk to someone who would like be a business partner rather than a podcast. Like, yeah, even though like he's on it with me, but he's like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, and like I would never be here without him. And fucking, I mean, talk to him if you're not already doing this. We set up an LLC, and any purchasing we're doing is expense and stuff like that. And he did all this. Like, again, I can't thank this guy enough. And so, but I mean, but back to what you were saying, you know, you did some things, had some, you know, you that's how things go. I think you try and you fail and you get back up and keep going. And I think, you know, my insecurities have stopped me from doing this stuff. And just the fact that I'm doing it now and like interacting with like you, I think it's definitely like, you know, to anyone out there, just like if you want to do something, just fucking do it. Like, you know, at the end of the day, no one, when we all lay in the ground and are dead, no one's gonna be thinking or saying like, oh, remember when so and so whatever. Just do it, and like, and the connections you make are fucking, you know. So yeah,
I mean, this applies to everyone, but especially Freelance fans, right? I mean, like, I forgot what show it was, but Jake goes to a recent show and Derek's like, yo, like, I know a lot of you out in the audience are artists. Like, I would say everyone's a fucking artist, right? Like, you may not be Tanner, you may not be making music, but if you're making a podcast or if you're doing something with data, right? You're taking data and you're making it look cool, dude, that's art. Like, that's your expression of taking raw data and making it something cool. Like, I do dashboards and everything sounds like I'm a fucking artist with that shit, right? Like,
just creating something is so rewarding. No matter what you're creating, if it's art, if it's a website, if it's a podcast, I mean that just feels so good, and it is still all art. It's still you're making something, which is that's like the most fulfilling thing in life that I can do is make things.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I think I'll take this moment to, just kind of lay out the concept of this whole thing that I have in mind, because the other podcasts out there, Almost Familiar, they do an amazing job at like breaking down each show from start to finish. Like they dive in all the samples. I mean, they do a phenomenal job, and like, I think, I mean, obviously, there's, and anything I've followed and things like that, there's obviously more than one podcast. I mean, there's a million different like TV shows, whatever. But my concept is, I'm trying to highlight the fans, and I think, I started with friends, and now I'm like, I met this kid at Tahoe, and he was on my next one that we're putting out, and then I'm having you on, and like kind of climbing up the ladder is that. But like everyone's got stories, and like obviously we're fans of the artists of the group and the team, but I'm also a fan of the fans too. Like like just there's always some shit where like there's shows you've been to, venues, shit that happened along the way, and I just think like the free flow conversation for me. Mad respect to you guys for like being like smart dudes. I'm just I'm that class clown, never been a homework type guy. So I just like, I like to riff off the top, and like, I'm just like, for me, I'm just trying to do like full content, like all around, like whether it's the reels I'm making, the podcasting, after I'm trying to interact with people before and after shows. Like, that's just my thing, So, yeah, I think it's a free flowing conversation that I'm just really trying to like, there's no boundaries. Like, so when you meet people at a Pretty Lights show, talking Pretty Lights, and then you get to know them, and then you talk about like where you're from, this and that, and then like it all stems back to Pretty Lights. So that's what I'm trying to get after. And I'm having fun, dude. It's fucking fun. It's it's a motivating like drive to like, I already interact with people, but like now I'm like, okay, I want to do this even more, and like, I'm very social, dude. I love meeting people. I love interacting and stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's my whole thing. So again, I can't thank you enough, dude. Like, I mean, seriously, mad props.
It's for the fam. It's for the fam. It's for all you guys. It's just I'm happy to do it because it's something I have a lot of fun doing, and I know it, like a lot of people just find it useful and fun and all of that.
Yeah. Real shit. I mean, then you got like, I'm the copy your homework type guy. My question now, being that you gained a lot of attention and this thing's is, the speed is fucking climbing. How are you receiving the attention that this has created for yourself? I'm sure it could be, go many different ways, but, touch on that.
Man, the fam shows so much love. So the attention I get is generally super positive, and I get a lot of constructive criticism now, and hey, this is misspelled, hey, you just have this song wrong, whatever. But it's the attention I get, it's incredible, and I've been able to meet so many different people in the family, and like a lot of some of the Pretty Lights Live people, and people that just hit me up on Instagram. They're like, hey, we should meet up at the show and just say hi. I just want to meet you. And there's just so much love from everyone. But I will say, so I got a USB at the Vegas show, and I posted it on Instagram, and I got like 800 new followers in like 2 days.
Yeah,
and
bro.
I had so many people DMing me and so many people messaging me, asking me questions. And that was super overwhelming.
Yeah.
That was crazy because people just want to reach out and chat. They want to talk. And I was just blown away because I didn't know how to handle it. I was just trying to, hearting messages and saying thank you. And so that for me, I'm kind of an introvert. I'm outgoing in a way, but also I run out of my outgoing energy pretty quick. And so that was the only downside is when I get a huge burst of stuff like that. I actually hit up like two homies. I was like, hey, can you guys like help me out on the Instagram? I cannot reply to all these people. I want to, I just can't.
I can totally see that. I mean, I even though I'm an extrovert, I feel like in my mind I'm always like a people pleaser. So I would feel like I would be overwhelmed by like, oh my God, I feel like I have to like talk to each person here. But Sip had mentioned to me, you asked about expanding, and like I think that's one thing right there. Hey, anything social media account. Before you get to that, I mean, yeah, I just in Vegas overnight, I did notice that you were sharing that shit, and I like went back to my room and I was watching it, and I was just watching over. I'm like, because I feel like Derek doesn't like put himself out there like that. It was just like no matter, even though he's talking about Taco Bell and fucking and like all this, I'm like, I just want to like listen to him talk, like, because he doesn't do that. You know what I mean? So, but again, I see you've obviously blown up overnight, and
I'm gonna interrupt. I want to just touch back real quick, and if there's anything you can't say, well, how'd you back to USB? How'd you get this USB?
So they were just I was up on rail night too. And the girl next to me, right before the show, Alvin walked right in front of the rail and was saying hi to everybody and fist
Stripes.
bumping, and he was wearing a striped shirt. And so the girl next to me asks him, "Hey, are you the Men in Stripes? Are you the Men in Stripes?" He's like, "Oh no, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about." And they talk for a little bit, and then like 2 minutes later, Illuminator comes out, and then we both get USBs.
dude, you know what's fucking crazy? So you said Angelica seen him. Angelica, so our friend, she had her bachelorette party down in Austin. She was like talking to him about like something about champagne shit, and he was like responding to them. And then like I forget where I went. They were fucking. I think I went to say hi to some people that were up on like the right side of the rail. And then
hold up. Just to clarify that story, she posted on her story popping champagne bottles like Alvin Ford Jr. for my bachelorette because they were in Austin for their bachelorette, and then he reposted that story.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Either way, apparently she's seen him on the right side, and they were talking to him, and then he's wearing stripes, and like I'm watching the show, and I'm like not even thinking about it because I'm like, oh, he's wearing a '90s fit, and like, man, it's straight. I'm a moron, like, dude, fucking, I mean, I literally taking videos of him like, oh, fucking, he's wearing like a '90s fit, like a fucking, all that Nickelodeon type fucking thing or something, so I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking they keep you on your toes. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, and you know what? There were multiple people in stripes on the crew. The thing is Ali Salvaggio, she had 2 USBs. The VHS guy, he was dressed as Freddy Krueger. Ali, I think she was Beetlejuice. Freddy Krueger, his name is like I don't know how to say it, Darian. He had the VHS and he was dressed like Freddy Krueger. And so I think there were multiple people on the crew in stripes. And so there's only one VHS, and I think that was like the main thing. And then the other USBs, they were just like, dude, they were just people in stripes, but none of them were Waldo, which I was looking for. I was looking for Waldo.
Yeah. Later, but since we're on the topic, Vegas, all right? If you'd like to kind of just like, touch on you, first off, like cracking the code, and then just as a whole, what was your whole experience like in Vegas? I mean, from top to bottom, which night did you like better? Did you do the themes? I don't know. I mean, I can't even, both, those were just like unforgettable nights of Pretty Lights and just so unique. And I mean, I was just so happy to be there.
Yeah, it was such an amazing time. So okay, for the dual fusion,
it was a trip through time. Cheers to that.
Cheers. So the dual fusion unity drop, like I just get in the Discord. I'm in the PLF Discord, and one day people are just going freaking nuts. Everyone's like, "Oh, try this extension, try that extension, and call this number." And I'm like, "What are you guys talking about?" And I'm in there. I'm like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And dude, everyone's just so hyper focused on solving it that no one's actually explaining it. And I don't know if you've heard of Balloon Girl, but she does a bunch of set listings. She's like a behind the scenes person. She's very mysterious. Um, she messaged me and she's like, here's what I know, and she explains everything to me. She's like, hey, you call this number, and he made this post, and there's like something to crack. And then Chris, he's the yellow shirt guy. You see him on rail like at every show. He just pops in the Discord and drops the link to the Dual Fusion Unity website. And so the code's cracked, right? He gives us the password and everything. And so I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. And I get in there and I listen to stuff. And then later that night, I'm like, well, I got to figure this out. Like, what happened? And a lot of people didn't know. So I was like, I'm going to make a YouTube video about it. So the main thing was I just kind of went through everything and tried to follow the clues, and it's like follow the icon. There's an icon at the bottom of the announcement, at the bottom of the pre-release website. And it's literally an eye icon. And you click that, it brings you to it. And then the password secret, I just plugged the riddle into ChatGPT and it gave it to me. But I highly recommend going on the YouTube if you want to learn more about that, because it's really cool. And it goes so much more in depth than I can possibly go on the podcast.
No, yeah, I watched it, and I just figured for the people that didn't know, it's a rough explanation. But yeah, I mean, like, so here's the deal. I work multiple jobs. My main job, I work I work like warehouse job and like work early mornings, and sometimes I go in like super early. So I worked at like 2 a.m. to like 10:30. So I go home, pass out. I wake up with like I'm squinting out of one eye, and I'm like, see a post, I'm like, wait. And all this is going down, and like you guys all did the work for me, and then I watch your video, and just thank you for bringing me up to fucking speed. Like, again, never been a homework guy, and you fucking just doing it for me. So yeah, real deal, fucking dope shit. So yeah, all right, going into Vegas, stand out moments for you. To start with night one, and then I'll touch on mine. And you sip, I know you've watched it now too, but we were boots on the ground right here. So
night one, I plan to go as, the little monk guy that's up on the swirl bridge thing with the cube and stuff. I like brought a big rope for that, and I was gonna dye my beard white. And dude, Vegas time goes so fast. Before I knew it, it was time to go to the show. I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing that, getting white crap everywhere. And so I just go with the robe. And dude, it was hot in there. I literally took it off after like 10 minutes and I went costumeless. But standout moment for me, night one was The Time Has Come. And he did it with like Ground Control and Major Tom.
yeah.
And that was freaking insane, because The Time Has Come is my favorite PL song. It's like deep and vibey, and you can dance to it, and it still goes hard, but like that's the song that makes me feel like emotions from Pretty Lights. Like a lot of people like Yellowbird or whatever, but like Time Has Come is like my like sitting out watching the rain, like feeling all the feels kind of song, and it always hits so hard.
Yeah, okay, dude. So that first set, I feel like everything was outer spacey. It's just like everything felt like if you were to put a backdrop on that, it was just like you're flying through like space and stars. But like, you got Trip Through Time, Time Has Come, Solar Sailor, the Hot Rocks, fucking. I mean, dude, blanking on the rest of them, but like, yeah. So I know you did on the Austin week 1. You said the theme was hot. I was telling my buddy, I almost thought, even though they didn't play Time, Pink Floyd, I think the theme was Time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was definitely Time, because they played Out of Time,
Arc of Time, Trip Through Time, fucking shit. I mean, let me pull it up real quick. But yeah,
Time Has Come. Like, it was all Time, and I was waiting, bro. I was like convinced during the show, Pink Floyd Time Is Coming. They've got to play it. And they
I know.
didn't. And I was like,
See, they keep you on your toes, though. It's crazy. Obviously, the show was, they released this like 2 months before, but like definitely less people than I would have thought. I didn't realize how big that venue was, but dude, I was like in the seats and we went to the bathroom after, and I like, it was just like, I've never like went to a restroom like that on a set break ever. It was just like a huge restroom and just like, you could hear a pin drop in there. And I was like, and I was telling my buddy, I'm like, I feel like I'm at the fucking movie theater. But like once we went down, like our friends like kind of got us down there, the energy just flipped, dude. And I was just like, something came over me and I was like one with the music. Like I've never like danced like that before. But yeah, it was definitely just like, I feel like from there, and I was like, Benny Bloom and Scott Flynn walked right past us, and like I thought they were gonna go up there, but like that second set, for me, I got into Pretty Lights 2012, but then at my 5th and 6th shows were Red Rocks 13 and Analog Future Live Band. That's when I like was hooked. So it was so nostalgic for me, dude. The horns, like I was fucking like so many, like Color of My Soul hit so hard, and then fucking All of the Lights. I forgot about that song. And that song. Yo, that song is a masterpiece. Like, yeah, and I was on some shit. Like, I'm always cracking shit up, but like, I was telling my friends, I'm like, yo, this is some fucking, go win the state championship. Got one play in a back pocket. Go fuck, I'm like, this is some Disney fucking stars in the sky. Fucking go win the Super Bowl type shit right here. So yeah, and I gave everyone a hug. I'm like, yo, we live in this moment forever, and no one's gonna take that away from like, I don't know. It's just like the fucking. The vibe and energy in there. But yeah, okay, so here, real quick. Trip Through Time. Time has come. Time to build a home. And then Arc of Time. And then, yeah. So, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, all right. Zip. Any standout moments for you in that?
Honestly, I listened to night 1, night 2. Night 2 was so good. I listened to night 2 on repeat. Like, I listened to 1. I was like, all right, that was sick. And then, not to get ahead of it, but I'll jump into night 2. It was sick. Dude, like, as you know, I'm a big house music guy. And I was listening to the YouTube, and I was working because I was on a work trip. I was in the lobby of the hotel listening to the set, and I was texting my buddy, Danny O.D., with every sample. I'm like, dude, they're dropping Percolator. Like, I have like the samples, like, dude, the Percolator, they drop Funk Phenomena, Stanford Disco, D-Town Boogie, Music Sounds Better With You. Like, what the fuck? Like hard to everybody, the team staff, like the samples, and I mean the music. I mean the Pretty Light songs that they played. Like, he opened up second set with 9 inch set. Like, yeah, it was good. It was so good. I listened to it Tuesday night. Wednesday night, I drove the group to work, and I made the executive decision to play Pretty Lights for the hour car ride.
yeah.
I mean, not a bad decision. But yeah, so that's the thing though. Especially in this new era, and it's like it keeps getting better. But like those 2 nights, I can't pick which one I like better. Yeah, because gun to my head, I'm a jam guy. Like I like Dionysus, like shit like that, like hits for me, especially the horns. But like night 2 was just, that was a party. I mean, it was like, I wish like my wife, I'm like, I wish you were there, because like she would have like loved that. And it was like, I mean, dude, a night of Pretty Lights, you're never gonna get back again. I mean, and the fact that they go, so they go from Analog Future to the PL Live, and then they come back and they do, each city does these like we're doing shout outs to each city, and like groups and artists from there, and then to do this. And they're doing these like every stop, I feel like has been special in its own way. And then just these themes. I mean, this is like,
great.
This is what String Cheese does at Swanee Halloween. Like I don't know if you ever like dived into that type of shit, but like
oh yeah,
I mean, they're really like going in and like and like just diving into that, and like kind of just like, all right, just keeping it fresh, keeping us on our toes all the time. So, yeah, night 2. Chris, take it away.
Yeah. So okay, I have a very unpopular opinion coming. So just a forewarning. set one was my ideal Pretty Lights set. I felt like it went
I remember
so
you said
hard,
that to me. Yeah.
and it was super bassy, and it was very upbeat, and to me it was like very like just OG solo Derek Pretty Lights. It was straight to the point without going too jammy or swirling around. And so for me, I was like, this is incredible. It's definitely my favorite set since the comeback.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I mean, yeah. For like, you got Hot Like Dimes, Aim at Your Head. Just quintessential PL.
Mountain. Yeah.
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 it's just bangers.
I mean, I don't think that's. I got nothing wrong with that. I mean,
But here it comes. Is set 2. I was
like
not vibing. I'm not a house guy. I'm not a huge swirl. I don't mind swirling around a little bit, but the housey swirls for it was almost all of set 2. The like Radiohead 9 Inch Nails was incredible.
Yeah.
And so there were, we got I Know the Truth, and so there were some like just straightforward songs in there, but all the like crazy extended, like it is one of the Pretty Lights songs like Prophet, but it gets like so changed up you can barely recognize it, and it's very housey. I will say I really did get super hyped for Sandstorm. When they got the Daru Sandstorm, I was like, okay, this is actually sick. But overall, I'm not hating on it. I think it was musically awesome, and it's just different strokes for different folks. It's, wasn't my thing, but who am I? I'm just a freaking guy at the show. So
yeah, I mean, to me, yeah, I'm like, if I'm like gonna say I'm gonna die tomorrow, and like what type of Pretty Lights set do I want? That's definitely not anywhere close to what I want. But like, I just think being there and like they just dove into the theme. It was fun, and like there were moments where I was just like, wait, what? Like the fucking, I didn't even realize like that it was the Grand Theft Auto, but I just knew that Still Night Drop. I'm like, that's some West Coast. Like that is your fucking, that Dr. Dre fucking, like, and also, I mean, I requested through that, and I'm not going to take credit for this. I can only assume a million people put these into, because I can only, like, when I thought 90s, all I just thought back to like Space Jam, but like that fucking that pump up the jam fucking, and I want a place to say get your booty on the floor tonight. So I was like talking to my friends about it before, and then when they dropped that during the Electro Cali thing, we were just like, everyone was like, whoa. And I didn't even realize this. I thought, again, I'm thinking as a kid, and all I can think about that era, like, so I requested my Blue Eiffel 65. I didn't even realize it until I listened to it later, and they did that during Still Night, and it was just like a quick "I'm blue," and that was over. So, and then they did Mac Miller. Well, I love Mac Miller. Got the poster right there. Fucking Thoughts from a Balcony, which was a Macadelic mixtape after his first album. I mean, yeah, just again, it was.
sorry,
I'm with you.
tease.
No, you're good. You're good. So, I mean, dude, don't be, this is what I love about this shit. We talk about it and everyone's got their opinions. At the same time, we all love Pretty Lights. I mean, I'm a deep cut guy. I don't necessarily like care for like some of the really popular songs. At the end of the day, if I go see PL, I'm going to have fun and love it, because it's not only about the music, it's about being amongst people who like it and stuff. But, at the end of the day, I'm not Pretty Lights. And he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I'm just here to appreciate it. So,
no one's ever going to get another Pretty Light set like that ever again.
And that is
a one of a kind thing that they curated especially for this event. And so if anything, we witnessed a unique moment in time. It was a piece of history that
100%
will never be repeated.
Yeah. And the fact that we were
Pretty Light set. Yeah. But as a house music fan, never in a million years did I think I would ever hear house music at a Pretty Light show. Like, I remember when Pretty Lights played, I think it was the Aragon. No, it was after Aragon. It was when he played Northern Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, and someone made a joke in the crowd of like, Pretty Lights is in Chicago, he's gonna play house music. I was like, dude, not a day in hell. And then he comes to the folk shed, he dropped house music. I'm like, dude, am I hearing this? And like my little brother, super jam bandy, not a big house music fan, zero interest in house. He was like, all right, Pretty Lights house I can listen to. And it's like, Pretty Lights is the person that I get, man. Really cap.
I mean, I like all music, but the thing I don't like about house music is it's all the same. So if anyone's doing like how Pretty Lights does it, it's all. I mean,
you can say about anything. If you don't listen to rap, you're gonna say all rap sounds the same. If you don't listen to country, you're gonna say all country sounds the same.
All right, but I don't know. I just think. No. I mean, in general, sure, there's a couple artists like over the years, like that stand out, but like nowadays, especially, and sure, I'm not like diving into it as much, but I feel like the general set. And hey, in San Diego, house music is fucking huge, and like people really don't. The music scene out here is kind of whack, And I mean, they just all love house, and they all play fucking Fisher and like the same shit. They all listen to the same fucking. Because they all listen to the same shit, and like to me, I'm like, dude, I don't know. It all just sounds the same. So whatever, I don't know.
It's a fad.
Yeah,
house is a fad. Tech house is a fad. Like it's super popular right now. Just like techno's getting popular, D&B is getting popular, and like you can argue D&B all sounds the same, but if you listen to it, like not the whatever.
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, there's an appeal, like a very wide appeal for it. Is the thing is, it doesn't have to be good music for it to have a wide appeal, but dude, house is like the most popular form of EDM.
Yeah. Well, it's the people who don't really care to dive in. They just take what they're fed. They kind of just like, oh, this is popular, I mean, so I don't know. And it is what it is. I mean, there's a reason why, catchy. I mean, for instance, I don't know if you guys play music. I mean, I don't know if Chris, I don't know if you've ever played music, but like the 1-4-5 chord progression is like, and that's like the Beatles get a lot of credit, and like, sure, they were the sound of a generation, but I think they laid the format of how to write a pop song, and everybody follows the 1-4-5. And like, in my opinion, yeah, like I don't really think like sure, the Beatles are great and all, but like I don't really think I think Pink Floyd is like 10 to a million. Led Zeppelin are a million times fucking better, and I mean the Grateful Dead, in my opinion, like the best band of all time in terms of talent. If you're talking talent, but then again, you go into the jazz musicians, and I just appreciate people who like want to be as good as fucking possible, and instead of like trying to like sell records, and which again, Pretty Lights is obviously not. The fact that he's releasing music to fans or versus putting on Spotify and doing these fucking promotional tours and stuff like that, they don't give a fuck about that. They care about the fucking true art form. So
Derek cares more about his fans than anyone.
Yeah,
it's crazy all the things that he does for the fans, the request lines, the streams. He's not just streaming; he's making these badass high-end production streams with visuals. He has a whole crew that comes out every time, and I don't know how profitable they are, but they cannot be making much, if any, money on the streams.
They're investing so much money, dude.
It's for the fans.
The light rig alone, I think I heard Greg say, I think he was talking on the Almost Familiar probably when he's on there. I think he was talking $500,000 light rig, and they keep changing that thing up. And then, you talk about the extra. I mean, from when we started seeing Pretty Lights, the extra elements of all these things that they've added on, and I mean, and talk about like not being a profitable entity or whatever for 5 years, and then coming out and just bang, and then just doing these one city stops and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, God, I mean, if anyone ever listens, thank you guys for being one of the biggest parts of my life, and I mean, Pretty Lights has made me, when I was younger, like it made me motivated to work and to travel and like go places and just fucking be social and be comfortable. I mean, I can't. The list goes on. So I want to backtrack on your site. What, like, do you have any plans? Like, obviously you brought on this younger guy, but like, do you have any plans to expand? and build a brand, perhaps merch. I mean, obviously you got the pin, but like maybe, like shirts, whatever. And then, I perhaps an app.
Yeah. So I'm going to start small and then talk about the bigger things. So just last week, someone was like, "Hey, I want to know how many times I don't know the song. I Know the Truth has been used to close out a set." And I have a page where you can look at every single song and see curated statistics for most times played in a row, most runs played in a row, longest gap between plays, what song is played more frequently before or after. I don't have that stat in there, so that's something I'm going to add in is how many times it's been used to close out a set. And so I add little stuff like that all the time when I get someone just is like, "Hey, could you do this little set?" I'm like, it'll take me 2 minutes to do that. And that's a really cool thing to know. Because I do have like song position in the set list, but it's like first, fifth, ninth, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's no way of saying, "Oh, that's the last one." And then one of the long-term projects I'm working on, one of the things that I really want to do with this site that I'm focused on more than anything is archival. So that's why I have audio and video and all the new set lists. I have everything on the site. Is I just want an archive because Pretty Lights, he did a bunch of streams in 2013. He's done streams in the past that no one recorded. They don't exist anymore. They're lost to the internet forever and some of them were recorded and they still got lost. So my goal is to have a huge archive to get it in as many hands as possible. And even like YouTube, you don't know how long YouTube's going to be around for. We might wake up and YouTube shut down and all of the videos Hammy T has ever uploaded are gone. So speaking of archival, is I'm trying to do like a wiki style thing for every Pretty Lights stop, and it like all the Pretty Lights techs and team members, and just talk about what they do and little things that happen at each stop. Like at Vegas, we got to talk about the USBs, but who's archiving what actually happened, like the facts or anything like that. It's just going to be passed down from word of mouth. And so I'm going back to like the earliest shows I can find and looking at YouTube videos, getting like pictures from people, and I'm building like a Wikipedia that's just going to be a massive database of everything related to each show. And that's one thing that's going to take forever. It's going to be like 10 years before that's even like close to being done. It's like a massive undertaking. But
how
that's like
storing
one of
all
the
that
things.
stuff?
Sorry.
How are you storing all of that?
So I have like a MySQL database, and it's just like basically a giant Excel file where I have like stuff stored in different cells. And so I'll do a column that is like poster link 1, poster link 2, poster link 3, and then I'll have a link to a poster in each one of those columns for each set. And then on my website, I can just code up a page that it'll just say if there's a URL in this cell, display.
Okay. So you're not downloading all these videos. You're just keeping an archive of all the links to these.
Oh yeah,
the
all the
media.
videos. I rip all the videos off of Twitch. So I wrote a little program. I used a library online to I live record everything off of Twitch as it gets streamed. So as soon as the stream ends, I finish that file up. I convert it to MP3, and it goes straight onto the website like 20 minutes after the show. Except Vegas. I was in Vegas, so I have 2.5 terabytes of storage on my server right now, and 1 terabyte is completely used by the last year and a half of shows. And so
that I mean, like, so a year and a half of shows to terabyte. Like, I just can't fathom the amount of data that's out there.
yeah, it's like over time it's just gonna to build and become more and more. And so another long term goal is I'm probably going to switch to like an at home server, and just because right now it's $1,300 a year for hosting the website. So in another year and a half, when my storage is full, I have to have a different plan to get this hosted, because it's just going to get more and more expensive the more shows there are.
This is all coming out of your pocket.
So I do accept donations on the website, and tons of people donate. I think I've gotten that this year in 2024, I've received probably like $800 in donations now. This guy, Sean, in the Peel Up Discord, he sent me a bunch of little Pretty Nights mini jibs, and I posted on my story. I was like, hey, I'll send you a mini jib. You send me a donation. People asked me, I'm like, well, how much do you want? I was like, just send me enough to cover shipping. And then one guy sends 30, another sends 40. And I mean, some people have sent over $100. Hammy T sent me a very generous donation. And so, but the crazy thing is that still wasn't enough to pay for it. And that's why I did the pins, is just as a way to let people contribute to the site while I also like getting something from it.
I mean, even if you didn't do it, for the pins are such a great idea. But here, I think you should definitely set up an LLC, because you can expense, even if you're going to shows or all these things. Like, talk to Sip. I think he can help you out on that. But
I'll talk to you, Sip. I'll talk to you.
100%. 100%.
Having heard all that, I would love to help you out. And I bought some jibs, and I have a bunch of pins, and I was like, I wanted to gain the following after I built up some content. And like, I talked to you about this. I want to like do a giveaway, but I would love to, do perhaps everyone. My whole thing was I was going to do it at like around Christmas time, be like, hey, it's the season for giving. But I think I'm going to say, I'm going to do it for giving to you, because you've been giving to us. So I want to have everybody can say, hey, you want to get in this raffle, whether it's $1 or whatever. I think a lot of people would just, hey, fucking everyone get in there, and then I would love to send that all your way.
No way.
Yeah,
no
dude.
Way.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you're doing all this, dude. I mean, hey, and you've done so much for us. Let's fucking, I mean,
that's so freaking awesome, man. I appreciate it. Like,
dude, I mean, hearing how much you're fucking doing, and like your time and your money that you're putting into this, I mean, this is the least we could do. So, and not only it's not like it's gonna help us too. I mean, obviously I'm gonna be like, hey,
yeah, it's all love, man.
It's gonna be like, follow, and send whatever the monetary like increment is. So yeah, dude. I mean,
thank you.
Thank you, dude.
This is what makes the fam so fucking awesome,
for real. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I even have some old shit that I want to get rid of. I mean, I have like tons. So I just think in general, that will gain, some attention on both. I mean, obviously you're doing great, but it'll help us out, and then it'll help you out in terms of keeping this thing going. Because I mean, the sky is the limit for you. So, talking about the app. I think we touched on that. I think a great thing, again, like you said, pull all these different like search engines and platforms into one place, and then have your stats, and then everyone, what if you have an avatar like on Snapchat, and you have yourself on the map, and then you could look at someone's map, and you could look at their show on the fucking map, like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
And then fucking, and then you got like everyone's stats up there, and then you could fucking clothe yourself. You got jibs, you got shirts, you got like, I mean, I would be obsessed. I mean, I would be like, dude. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like people like who, we're in the video game culture, like everyone like loves these skins and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, sidebar too. How about fucking, like almost like odds, like betting odds, like not like, but like probability of like these songs being played, and like,
yeah. I mean, that would be sick. And so like, okay, the app, I'll talk about that a little more, because I kind of like just went right over that.
Yeah.
So I want to do, kind of what's on the website, on the app, and, but also I want to try and make it so people can stream the shows straight from the app, stream the audio straight from the app, and that's all just going to come right off the website where you can just stream it. And that's the main thing is like there used to be a Pretty Lights app where you could play. It had like Pretty Lights songs on there, and you could like go on there and I heard really good things about it. And just I think being able to do at least like 2023, 2024 shows and maybe some other older ones, and just have the Pretty Lights live stuff on there. Maybe I got to talk to the Pretty Lights live guys because I don't. I don't want to step on any toes with anything.
For sure.
Because if someone's already doing something, you kind of, it's just like, let them do it. You don't want to mess with their stuff either.
Yeah.
I created this visualizer and like different art things where you can like, it does like a crazy visualization with Pretty Light songs and you get to customize it things. And I would love for people to be able to look at other people's profiles. And that's going to be like, I'm going to have to do like an opt-in thing because the way everyone's already signed up, I don't want to like expose any of their information to anyone.
For sure, yeah.
But like do it so, hey, this person was at the same show as you. This person was at 10 same shows as you. And then
that's cool.
Like then you get to know you've been like next to this person for 10 years to go into like 30 different shows with them. It's just, making the world a little smaller.
Dude, okay, so to touch on that, I've done 4 podcasts I've put out, right? And I did, Sib was the first one. I did my buddy Johnny, who's at Tahoe with me. My 5th one, I met this kid at Tahoe. I met this kid at Tahoe. He went by himself. We connected. He was on about me. He lives in Austin. He went to so we talked about ACL. I told him, look at your Pretty Night site, and we talked about what shows we were all at together on the podcast. I mean, dude, that is, again, comparing like, oh, I was there too, blah, blah, blah. And he told me this funny ass story about Red Rocks 14. You can go back and listen when it comes out, but just, and again, that's like stories, like you talk about, I was there, and then you talk about, oh, what went on and everything like that. So yeah, dude, it's so much like potential and just endless avenues of just connecting with that stuff. So yeah, I mean, dude, super cool.
How are people making suggestions or requests? And they just reach out to you on Instagram, Facebook Messenger?
Like for changes to the site and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram, people comments. I'll post in the PLF Facebook a lot, like, hey, this is a new feature, or hey, did you know you can do your stats, stuff like that. And people can reach out to me however they want. Bro, like every day I get a new friend request on Facebook from someone at PLF and a new message, and it's like, reach out to me however you want, and I'm all ears. Just, you have a better chance if you're nice about it.
Yeah. And I mean, again, thank you. I know you've been blown up, so obviously we've been chatting before, but appreciate you fucking keeping the contact going. But my question is, I know I look back on some sets and some of them just say new. Songs say new. I mean, it's that part's hard. And like sometimes now, I don't know, I feel like they call something, it's a different name here, and then they call something different there. It's like that stuff's hard to keep track of.
Yeah. And even discerning what is and isn't a song or what's a swirl is like Jolene. I was like, search Jolene. It's like, oh, Jolene's been played once. And I'm like, no, Jolene's been played more than once. But then I go look and it's like, well, it got swirled into something else. And does that count as a Jolene? And then everything is so fluid with Pretty Lights now. You can't fit it into like a rigid box. It used to be is, oh, he played this song. He played this song. He played these 2 songs together. But now it's like, it's hard to discern if it's a song or they're just jamming out or nothing's official.
In my opinion, I think they've only played Jolene twice. And I think it was at the Caverns and I think it was at Bonnaroo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, yeah, believe me, there's plenty of times where, I mean, for instance, in New Orleans, they did a tiny tease of Day Is Gone. Or like shit like that, you know what I mean? That doesn't like constitute, it's not, it can't be claimed as a song. So, I mean, there's tons of little like little fucking vocal samples or little fucking things that are, you know. So yeah, it is tough. It's tough.
And if I can give a shout out, like shout out to the Discord set listers, Balloon Girl, Loaf, Mark Cooley. There's I know I'm missing people, but thank all the PLF set listers, because I use all their set lists on my site, and I go in there like once a week and I'm like, hey, what's up with this song? Hey, can you help me with this ID? Hey, I noticed this thing, or can we start labeling things differently? And literally, like, they're always so freaking helpful. And dude, these guys are on live for every stream, and they're literally typing out all the samples, and they talk about how much work I do. They do like 10 hours of work every show. It's insane. They timestamp all the samples, so that's where I'm getting samples timestamped on the site now. Like, you can click a song on the set list, and it'll show you the samples and where they are in the recording. And that's all because of them, like, doing extensive work. And that's another thing that sets PLF apart. No one else is doing these things. No one is so dedicated, and it just reflects Derek cares about his fans, and his fans care about the music. And so it's like so reciprocal. And I cannot thank all the fam, because it's like we're all like a big puzzle, and everyone's got their piece here and here and here. And if anyone just stopped doing what they're doing, it
wouldn't be
things
complete.
would fall apart. Yeah.
And you know, for me, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable, like, you know, and like for me, it's like, you know, I'm big on the band members and where they're from. Like, my thing is, like, I'm always like, when it comes to anything I'm into, if it's an artist, I always like to know where they're from, or like what their name is, or like even with athletes, like Sip knows, we always like dive into where athletes went to college, and like I like to like know that shit. But like in terms of like that stuff, like, you know, I hear some samples here and there, and like sometimes I don't even realize it, and like going back and like, oh yeah, that's right. But like, I don't know, dude. For some reason, me and my buddy were like thinking night one, we just thought all that stuff in the beginning was like kind of intros, and we thought they opened up with Trip Through Time. And then it was like, you know, and in the moment you don't really know, but like, yeah. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, they did like this like thing into that, and like, you know, but yeah, it's great to have that, like, you know, knowledge to step back on. I mean, dude, we need to like set up a fucking ESPN fucking booth straight up.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, no, I'm a real deal. Like, you know, I mean,
Like,
also, I mean, what I want to start doing too is like me and my buddy are kind of doing it, like show predictions, like before, like, what do you think they're opening up with? What do you think they're going to close the first set with? What do you think they're opening the second set? What do you know, not necessarily in the middle stuff, but like calling that out. And like, it's funny to laugh at if you're wrong, which we were totally off. We had shit sitting in right in front of our face. And then when you hit, it's like, damn, I called that shit. You know what I mean? So
we could turn that into a giveaway or something.
Huh?
So we could turn that into a giveaway or something.
Yeah, like if you hit this or something. I mean,
yeah, just like throw our content up there, call it your first show, and then if you like, we could take if you get the first show right, whoever got it right, we'll raffle you guys and then give away whatever.
Or just set up a pretty light set book instead of a bet book. Okay, but yeah,
Fam duel.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Okay, so beyond that, I mean, what else is Pretty Nice up to?
So we've been collabing with Electric Hawk, so they're a pretty big, like EDM music industry, like media website, and I've been helping Miguel. I don't know.
Is that Miguel? Is that Miguel? He's Electric Hawk?
Well, it's not Pretty Lights Live Miguel, but I think his name is Miguel. And
the guy, he's OG, like, you know, he's from Colorado. Miguel, that's the one. I mean,
not the one who records the set list on his paper. Not that Miguel.
Okay, gotcha.
But he runs the Instagram. He does the Pretty Light statistics. He does a bunch of other stuff. And someone tagged us together on Facebook. Was like, hey, y'all need to work together. So I hit him up, and he's like, hey, can you make pie charts for me? or he said, I have this pie chart idea, I have this idea, and so I just, I got the database, I just started generating different graphs and different statistics, and if you go on their post, they've tagged me in a couple of their posts now. We've been collabing on getting the pre-live statistics out, which is really cool to be involved in, like, someone's official thing, and giving like official value to the data and the site. What else?
But yeah, again, that's so cool that, like, again, everyone has these ideas, and it's awesome that they're like doing it on Instagram, but like you just have the wherewithal and resources to like put it into like your own thing, which is just like, I can't even, I don't know. That's just mad respect to you, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah. Real shit. And then, where else were you going with that?
I was trying to think of anything else I'm working on. And I guess that's really, that's what I got on the table right now is I'm trying to do the wiki, the app. I'm working on statistics, and I might have something else in the works I can't talk about at all about anything about it, but there is something else maybe going on. It may never reach daylight. I can't say anything.
All right. Well, if I may say, if there's ever an appropriate time to talk about that, let's get you back on here.
I got you.
All right. Yeah. Hey, when I think about again, like the fact that I'm still new at this and learning, and our first couple of episodes, audio sucked, and we're figuring things out. We're buying more equipment and everything, but we're learning. You make mistakes, but I was so nervous about a lot of stuff, and just like, but it's definitely as time's gone on. Obviously, having you on, it's like that was like. I'm very excited and, honored to this is a big step. It's just when I think about how this all started, I just really, I just think how you did what you did. And even I remember I think Sip posted something that I didn't or vice versa. And then you were like, hey, I wasn't tagged in this one, tag me. So you could share it. I think it's just nice to have this shared, shared fucking, reciprocated respect and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and obviously, you're way up there, but I don't know.
No, dude, the podcast is sick.
Thank you. No, I was going to jump in. I was going to say, we appreciate the support. We want to support you, any way possible. You are doing a huge service to the fam. Huge. This is stuff no one's doing. No one probably thought of doing, and if they did think of it, they didn't have the skills, the time, the dedication, the love, and the art that you put into it. So just thank you, thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Moving forward, I just I want to ask, where does Vegas rank in your overall shows? Where do you put that?
Ooh, I'm putting it above New Orleans for sure. So of the post hiatus, Vegas was incredible. One is the city of sin, so it's just incredibly indulgent outside of the set, and then you go there, and I got VIP, so it was awesome. Getting in early in the merch line, meeting so much fam, because between New Orleans and now, I've made so many new friends, met so many people, and so it's bro, showing up to the show is like a family reunion where you get to meet half the family that you've talked to but you haven't met before, and it's just like everyone I'm talking to, I'm like, oh hey, I'm the pretty nice guy. Like, oh my god, we talked about this, we talked about that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's you. And so just the fan aspect, but the music also, Vegas is definitely over New Orleans for me. And I use Bonnaroo, the Sunrise set, to compare against everything else. And so it's not beating Bonnaroo, but it is probably beating some of the smaller solo sets. And I'm a guy, I've always said, and I still say, I like solo Derek better than band Derek.
Okay, well don't get mad if you ever heard. I kind of said some shit about that, but I didn't mean it in a bad way. But yeah, continue. I'll explain myself. But yeah, keep going. Yeah.
No, it's another unpopular opinion. I think most people, especially as we've grown older, your music taste has matured, and a lot of people like the band and the jamming and the swirling and all the artistry. And I love to just like kind of like rage and just kind of go hard. So a lot of the harder sets is where it's at for me. So like night 2, set 1, amazing. Night 1, really good. And I will say this is the best iteration of the band. This is the best any Pretty Lights band has ever been part on.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, to touch on that, I mean, again, anyone out there, if I say some shit, I'm not serious. Like, I'm just fucking around. But like, I said, like, I was like, oh, anyone who thinks the soul set's like, if you think it's bad, like, you're a numbskull. I don't mean it like that. Here's for me, and I'm a music guy, and like when I got into PL, like my first show or two, like that's when I like kind of like dove in. I was there at festivals, right? So I went, and that's when I was like, oh, like it got me into the festival scene, and then like, so I go I see him 2 more times after that, and then I go to fucking Red Rocks and see the band, and I'm like, and then that kind of pulled me out of that because I was just like, well, what is everyone else doing up there? He's actually like, going beyond, and then it eventually got me into like bands and jam bands and stuff like that. And then when Pre-L stopped, I got really into Dead and Company. I got really like big Grateful Dead fan. So to me, I just think like, I just like the full sound and like just like the jammingness, to keep you on your toes and like going into this and that and like all that. But yeah, don't get me wrong. Again, like I said, if I ever see Pretty Lights, doesn't matter what they're doing, I'm gonna vibe out because it's not just about. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, I'm not happy with this. Like I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm fucking meeting people, chilling, like in my element, adding to my list of shows. Like I'm fucking having a good fucking time, dude. Like, so, again, out there, I'm a fucking ball buster. I'm just, and hey, and talk shit to me too, because I love a good fucking roast, as long as it's, as long as you have some good foundation to it. So, but yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I say, I think we went over plans for rest of the tour. Sip's going to Chicago. I wish I could be there. That breaks my heart. Okay, hey, Chris, if you're down, let's do a little New Year's live stream watching, kind of like live podcast thing or something like that,
Yeah, I'm totally down. I'm going to be at home. I got she's 5 months old right now. I got a little baby just keeping me at home, so I'm not going anywhere. So I love to ring in the new year with y'all.
Hell yeah, good shit.
Well, whatever, Sip, you have fun. You have fun at the show.
Sip will be passing out stickers and fucking vibing out. But yeah, all right. So yeah, I think at this point that does it. Again, I just want to say thank you, Chris, aka Pretty Nights, aka PLF Man of the Year, top candidate. Thank you for being here, and
thank you,
Sip. Happy to have you back, and this will conclude this episode of Trip Through Time. As time goes by, memories never die, and this has been quite the conversational journey. Honored and fucking just beyond ecstatic to have this guy here. Can't say enough. This has been, I think, one of the best we've done, and it's just huge. So, everybody out there, give this guy some thanks, send him some love. You see now what he's doing. Hit him up, support him, and just, look out for us doing more stuff and enjoy the fucking shows and be safe. So,
thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure talking with you guys. And I can't wait to see how your podcast grows.
Oh yeah, man. And we'll do it again soon, man.
Oh yeah, we will.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you. Everyone, prettynights.com. Check it out.
Oh yeah. Real shit. All right, man. And that'll do it.
Yeah, baby, y'all are off the hook. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll see you in a second.
right, guys, welcome back to Trip to Time. We're going to take this time to run it back. When we originally did this, we weren't allowed to talk about some things, and given the time in between, we're now allowed to. So thank you to Chris for taking this time to run it back with us. Meanwhile, just talked to him and still learning to work with all this stuff, but didn't have my shit hooked up right. And the conversation was too raw and organic to try and recreate that. So we're going to roll with it, but feel free to make fun of me as you will, as I talk into this thing that isn't hooked up. Thank God the audio picked it up from my laptop, but yeah, gosh, I'm a moron. But either way, this was a very enjoyable experience, and we're beyond grateful to work with Chris, and beyond how nice of a guy he is, beyond how he's been very, helpful with us and helpful to the fam. Past all that and talking to him, unrecorded and talking about stuff we got going on in our life. He's a really great person, and I've really had an enjoyable and just beyond pleasurable experience getting to know and talk to him. And I can't be more excited to keep talking to him and diving into this stuff that we love, and just a great person all around. So thanks for tuning in, and yeah, appreciate anyone along the way. And we're just we're gonna keep getting better. Promise you that. But again, I'm an idiot. This sounds great. Whatever. It'll make up for it. So yeah. Thanks, guys. Catch y'all in the next one. All right, we are back. We originally did the episode on Halloween. Took a little time to get it out, but we had some things we were going to talk about. Thank you, Chris, for coming back. But yeah, so there was some news possibly that we could talk about, and then it was told that we couldn't. We touched on that before. Things have happened, so I just want to pass it off to Chris and let him take it away on what he's doing and what he's involved with and what went down. So, man, thanks again. Here you go.
So last time I said there was something in the works. I couldn't talk about it at all. But I've been working on a project with Tiwanku. His name's Nick, and he's the video jockey for one of the Lucid streams on the paid stream. He does the virtual view, I think is what it's virtual dimension is what it's called. And so he does the heartbeat you on there, and people have their iPhones and their watches hooked up, and you can see everyone's heartbeat all around. And so he does the cool virtual dimension thing. And he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, your database is awesome, and I think I could do some really cool stuff with it." And I was like, "Oh, what do you have anything in mind?" And he's like, "Well, I'd love to be able to put some of the stats on the stream." And so I ended up hooking him up with access to the database. I created a second database for him, and I wrote some SQL queries so he can basically hook up his touch designer to my database and pull statistics and different data and generate stuff for the stream. And so we were working on it we got it kind of working before Vegas, but it wasn't ready. And then we, before Minneapolis, we worked on a couple of things and we thought we got it working, but he didn't tell me he was going to be doing the stats at all. And then so on night 3, he just hops on Discord and posts a screenshot of the virtual dimension, and it's got digital as fuck, and it's played 2 times before, and it's just got a bunch of stats on there. And so throughout the night, he just every song displays stats on there, which is freaking awesome. So I got to collab with the Pre-Lights team member, and that was just super freaking exciting.
Props to you, man. That is huge. Backstory, Chris pretty nice put on his story that he was excited to talk with us, and good thing he did, because he said we're going to talk about some stuff that I've been working on, and I get he had gotten a message and said that, hey, you can't talk about that, and we're like, all right, well, good thing you did, because that would have been Probably
Yeah.
would have not been a good thing. So yeah, but real quick, so I thought it was only once before. It was twice.
It was twice. Yeah.
So was the first time snowball or something?
I tell you what, I can pull it up really
Well,
quick.
yeah, obviously you can. Yeah.
Um, yeah, this was the third time.
I thought it was the second. But I know the only thing I could pull from was the SoundCloud clip I had was from Hangout in Gulf Shores.
Okay, I played. Oh, of course, I did the wrong search. God dang it. Yeah, so it was played at Beale Street Music Festival the first time.
Wait, in 2014?
Yeah, in 2014.
No shit, I was there. God damn it. What the fuck, dude? That's fucking insane. God, dude, again, I think I've never heard this shit. Dude, fuck. Yeah, so that's another crazy thing. Like I've had a couple crazy runs where I've like there's like three specific ones I can think of, but like, not to waste time. But there's like, so 2014, I went to Counterpoint Music Festival. There's only been two, and Prentice has played both, and I've been to both. But the second one was at a different location. It was in April of 2014, and that was like the first like kickoff to like this like kind of like the summer and festival run, and they did a great set. I mean, in terms of like a quick set, and the band, the Analog Future band, and but they didn't have many tour stops on schedule, so I went to that, and I went a week after that. I went to 3-day festival down there, and I drove back home, and I went down to Memphis for a day just to go to Beale Street, and I'm pretty sure it was just Carnes and Deitch, so just that 3-piece thing, which didn't happen often. And then later that summer in June, I saw same thing, the three of them, and at Spring Awakening, which is a festival at Soldier Field. But yeah, holy fuck, dude, that's a trip. That's
Yeah, and so
crazy.
you were saying a minute ago that it was on you put it in as a request. And
Yeah.
fun fact, this was originally, I've heard from a source, it was originally supposed to be played in Vegas. It was on the set list for Vegas, and
I did request Vegas.
they ended up running out of time and they didn't play it.
God damn.
But it was originally that was on one of the Vegas night set lists.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I've been like that. Okay, I have a couple like regulars on my requests, and like there's Digital as Fuck, and now top of my list for chasers is Give Your Love Away. And I didn't know that I heard that too until back to one of my other ones, Freaky Deaky, that you did the day in history thing, and so that weekend, which is crazy. My wife is a big Swanee girl. Like she went to 5 straight Swanee Halloweens, but that weekend, pretty much did Friday Swanee Halloween, Saturday Halloween night in at Ascend Amphitheater, great venue in Nashville, and then Freaky Deaky Sunday. So I drove down with a bunch of people down in Nashville for a day, and then drove back and caught Freaky Deaky. And
Dang.
yeah, man. So that's again back to what I love about your shit. Like I said this about Days Gone, and now like I didn't even realize I heard Digital as Fuck too, but like damn, dude, like yeah, I do. Like so I saw that, and then hearing Derek say like, that's like, and back to this real quick. Like I love when I was talking about like when you posted all that stuff in Vegas, and like he was just talking about random shit, and I was just like, I just want to hear a dude talk, and I love like random Derek banter on stage. Aside from his normal like yo we right now whatever, but when he like says shit, like I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And when he just says, hey, shout out to the Pretty Lights family, this song's been requested for a while and we didn't have a name for it, and he's like, this is what me and Chris put together, and he's like, y'all named it, I don't even know, Digital as Fuck. And like, and I was like, and I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one requesting that, you know what I mean? But in general, shout out to Grateful Hippie, that girl that does the request thing. I have hammered that song. I've been hammered that, the Give Your Love Away. And then one of my other ones is one of my favorite Pretty Lights songs, Don't Take My Sunshine. The Gorge show was the like that was the full on transition. Like a lot of tracks since PL came back, like, you know, they were playing a lot of those things that were ran up at the Gorge, and I was just like, yo, that was the start of a lot of stuff. And I think I'll get to this. Actually, I'll say it now. I kind of go by Benny Badu. Benny Badu came from At the Gorge. We heard on night one, Don't Take My Sunshine got played, and a lot of this new stuff, but there was this all night, me and my friends kept saying there was like, because there's the beginning of it kind of has that like horns, like, and it kind of sounds like that, like I always compared to, like, I think of a Quentin Tarantino movie with that, because it's like, wow, I don't know. I kind of think of like a guy who's like ready to kill someone with a gun, like, you know, just kind of like that Tarantino vibe. And then later it does that satellite drop, like woo, and me and my friends kept saying all night, like woo, and then it turned into me using that as my fantasy football league name for this Pretty Lights league we do, and it was Benny Badu. And like once he played that, I think the first time they played that was at Dillon. I think it was night one, and then everyone was like, they're playing Badu. You know, and like that's my name.
Yes.
So, and that is the origin of the name. So it was
There we go.
And Badu. Yeah, don't take my sunshine. I got sunshine in a bag. You fucking dude, money. So I just want to say, I was in Oakland last night. My wife is a huge soundtrack fan, and we did a quick 48-hour road trip to go catch him at the Fox Theater, which, by the way, great venue. But I saw a couple people. I was wearing my Vegas Pretty Lights hoodie, and a handful of people came up to me and talked to me and stuff. And I, you know, told them about the podcast. But one guy was like, "Oh, you should talk to the Pretty Lights guy." I'm like, "Oh yeah, episode's coming out."
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah. But you know, you're all in the mix, man. So yeah, it's
People know me. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I do that. Pretty nice guy. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, man. All right, so yeah, that'll do it. Just want to add that little extra information in there. This guy is, like I said, man of the year for the PLF, straight up. I mean, hey, you heard it here first. So, just beyond thrilled that I was able to like connect with this guy and stuff like that. So thank you again, man.
Yeah. And if I can shout out, I just want to shout out the Pretty Lights Discord set listers, Jay Lee, Balloon Girl, Loaf, definitely for the request line, Millie, Hansington, Grateful Hippie, like you said, and everybody. Pretty Lights is based off of everyone else's hard work. And everything that everyone does in the family. Without mostly everyone in the Discord, Pretty Nice wouldn't exist. Pretty Nice wouldn't exist without the Pretty Lights Live guys that went around and recorded sets. Brett, Miguel, Brandon, all those guys that just like straight up dedicated tons and tons of time and hours into creating set lists, recordings. And dude, it's crazy. They're doing clocking times for samples now, and doing the samples. And it's the game is leveling up. So I just want to also say thank you to all the people that are doing all the data gathering and all the IDing and everything like that, because this is built on the shoulders of all those people.
Yeah. Thank you, man. This will close it off. Very excited for the rest of the tour, and very excited for what you're doing, dude. You know, congrats. You're doing dope shit. So it's been a pleasure really talking to you and getting to know you, man. So yeah.
Thank you, man.
Right on.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for checking in, guys. Appreciate y'all. All right.
We're all upon a ship that flies and flies and flies and flies.